The Prince and Princess of Wales are getting absolutely roasted across the internet right now. And the thing that makes this entire situation completely different from the usual, manufactured palace drama is that it has absolutely nothing to do with leaked gossip. It is about a viral video from Trooping the Colour where you can audibly hear the crowd aggressively booing Kate Middleton and Prince William right to their faces. The clip has already racked up over 15 million views on X alone, and the comment sections are an absolute bloodbath. But when you actually break down why this happened, and more importantly, why the internet is actively cheering for the crowd, it provides a terrifying, fascinating window into exactly why the royal family's traditional public relations playbook just permanently stopped working. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that subscribe button if you are new to Crown Watch, and let's expose the massive structural crisis currently tearing the monarchy apart. To truly understand how disastrous this was for the palace, you have to look at the exact narrative they were desperately trying to sell. Trooping the Colour is the ultimate public relations set piece. The entire family is on the balcony, the children are waving, and the pageantry is flawless. This specific moment was entirely orchestrated to be Kate's triumphant, inspiring return to public life following her cancer treatment. The media was supposed to run headlines about a strong, unified family moving forward. Instead, the crowd started booing. The cameras zoomed in on Kate's face, and she looked absolutely, genuinely furious. She didn't look mildly annoyed. She looked visibly enraged. And the children standing next to her looked incredibly uncomfortable and confused. Imagine being a child, standing in your formal outfit in front of thousands of people, and suddenly the entire energy of the crowd shifts from adoration to outright hostility, and your mother looks completely livid. It was a massive, unscripted disaster, but the most alarming part was the internet's reaction. Normally, when a royal gets booed, the internet splits down the middle. Half the people call the royals out of touch, and the other half aggressively defend them, demanding respect for the crown. But this time, the overwhelming, massive consensus online was simply, "Good. They deserve it." And the reasons people are giving have absolutely nothing to do with Kate Middleton's personality, and everything to do with the absolute nightmare of the current UK economy. Right now, the cost of living crisis in Britain is genuinely catastrophic. Working-class families cannot pay their mortgages, rent is entirely out of control, the NHS is systematically collapsing, and people who never imagined using food banks are suddenly relying on them just to survive. Pensioners are literally having to choose between heating their homes and eating dinner. And while the working class is drowning, the royal family is parading onto balconies covered in inherited diamonds, demanding massive increases to the sovereign grant, and commissioning multi-million-pound renovations to their multiple castles, all heavily subsidized by the exact same taxpayers who can't afford groceries. In the past, the pageantry was viewed as a charming, necessary tradition that boosted tourism. But when you cannot afford to turn on your radiator in the winter, watching a billionaire family wave from a balcony stops looking like a charming tradition and starts looking like a deliberate, insulting mockery of your suffering. The crowd booing wasn't a critique of Kate's outfit. It was the public finally snapping and screaming, "We are not going to applaud a celebration of excessive wealth that we are being forced to pay for while our own lives fall apart." The palace has been desperately throwing everything at the wall to rebuild William and Kate's popularity, and absolutely none of it is sticking. Think about the catastrophic photo editing scandal earlier this year. It was a completely self-inflicted wound. Nobody forced them to release a heavily manipulated image, and nobody forced them to double down when people noticed the inconsistencies. They tried to heavily control their image and got caught, and it instantly shattered public trust. If you are willing to edit a simple family photo, what else are you actively lying about? Then came the cancer announcement. While it initially generated genuine sympathy, the public is simply too exhausted and skeptical to let it carry the narrative forever. After years of the palace planting stories, protecting certain family members, And managing the media, the public now filters every single royal announcement through a lens of deep suspicion. They no longer see genuine human moments. They see highly calculated PR strategies designed to manipulate their emotions. But the absolute most glaring example of this institutional tone-deafness came directly from King Charles himself. In an attempt to address the economic suffering of the nation, the king delivered a speech about the severe cost of living crisis. But he delivered this speech while wearing a diamond-encrusted crown and sitting on a literal, solid gold throne. It was one of the most tone-deaf, visually insulting moments in modern political history. You cannot bridge the massive, yawning gap of wealth inequality with empty words, while simultaneously sitting on a chair that costs more than entire working-class neighborhoods. The performance of royal empathy completely falls flat when the material reality of their existence is so incredibly disconnected from the people they claim to serve. And hovering over all of this economic resentment is the dark, rotting cloud of the Prince Andrew situation. It is the ultimate unaddressed wound that the palace desperately prays the public will just magically forget. But the public hasn't forgotten. Every time a new piece of information regarding the Epstein files drops, the royal family circles the wagons, remains completely silent, and refuses to hold their own blood accountable. The public clearly sees the staggering hypocrisy. The palace will aggressively throw Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to the tabloid wolves for simply wanting to leave the country, but they will utilize the entire weight of the institution to protect Prince Andrew from facing any actual legal accountability. You cannot demand that the public view the monarchy as a moral authority when the institution actively shields its own members from the consequences of their actions. When you combine the collapsing economy, the golden thrones, the photo-editing lies, the Prince Andrew cover-ups, and the transparent PR manipulation, it all converges into that exact moment on the balcony. Kate Middleton's furious expression is the terrifying realization that she did everything exactly right according to the palace playbook. She smiled, she wore the right clothes, she produced the heirs, and she never complained. She sacrificed her entire privacy and autonomy to become the perfect symbol of the institution. But the public is no longer rejecting the person. They are rejecting the symbol. The crowd wasn't booing Kate the mother. They were booing the entire, outdated, unaccountable system she represents. The royal PR machine is permanently broken. The public is officially done playing along. And the absolute worst part for the palace is that they have absolutely no idea how to fix it.